Hi, good day. Right now, we are already in the week 5 of our knowledge and philosophical foundation of social work profession. We now move on to the philosophical and value foundation of social work. In the previous chapter, we discussed ano talaga yung profession. Now, we are going to discuss ano yung kaibahan ng profession from occupation. No? So, Boehm concluded that there are 5 main criteria which distinguish an occupation from profession. Ito kasi yan eh. Sometimes kasi naguguluhan tayo. Okay, you are professional. I have an occupation, di ba? There are times na when we are having this document na form na susulatan natin, we move on here. Ano to occupation? At ano itong profession? Now, ano yung kaibahan talaga nila? Sabi nga dito, a profession is expected to be responsible. Yun yung sinabi ko sa professional authority. If you are a professional, you are responsible and accountable ka. No? Talaga. No? Aside, kasi may lisensya ka eh. And of course, aside, isa na rin yan, no? Sa katotohanan. A profession should possess relative systematic, transmissible body of knowledge. Yung systematic body theories ng social work. Yun, the first, what's constitute a profession according to Ernest Greenwood. We professionals, we don't just know how, we know why we are doing these things. Professional practitioner must adhere to the values. We have code of ethics, no, as professional, no, we have culture, no, from our profession. A profession must have body of skills, no, which is the result of the fusion of the attitude and no, we have skills, and daming skills na social work, and disciplines na sinusunod. A members of the profession must be organized and considered as the member of the group, no, whose skills and attitude, norms, conduct they share for the advancement of the dedicated. They are dedicated. Value. We have value system in social work, no? These components are present in all profession. Value, knowledge, and skill. Ano yung value? Is defined as the worth which man attaches to certain things, system, or person. Ano yung value in social work? Ano yung paningin natin sa mga bagay-bagay? How we attach meaning, how we attach worth sa pinaniniwalaan natin. Real usefulness, truth, goodness. They are formulations of prepared to us behavior held by individual or groups. No? Their preference for certain means, ends, condition of life, accompanied by strong feelings. William Gordon, according to him, values something to refer. There must be a description of what is referred or some measures. Our values actually are the sources of our attitude and determine our relationship with each other. While values refer to what we prefer, knowledge refer to what is ought to be and confirm by reality. So yung value-based natin, of course, may knowledge-based din tayo. It is not just a fantasy. No, does knowledge refer to what, in fact, seems to be established by the high standard of objectivity and rationality of which a man is capable. It is then concerned with the facts and information. Ganon yung social work. No, it is knowledge-based and, of course, value-based. The third component is skill. Skills and ability of expertness, proficiency and gain practice, and knowledge. Obviously, from this definition, we understand that skill is concerned with application, with doing. But not just doing any which way, but ably, expertly, proficiently. One's ability to apply the knowledge, values of one's profession, example, sa field work, no, mga field instruction, no, ng social work, knowledge skills. We are basing our skill from the knowledge, systematically, no, according to what is research. No, ano yung napag-aralan na talaga. A word that is often used in place of skill is art. Is social work an art? Yes. Social work has been referred to as an art with scientific and value foundation. A social worker will therefore employ her skill or art in using relationship between client and herself. No, if tayo nga, as we create with the paint, it's an art. Ang mahal-mahal pa ng mga art. How much more, no? We help people. That's the greatest art we could have. And of course, we also have philosophical foundation of social work. Anong paniniwala natin? Ano yung philosophy of social work? The philosophy of social work is derived from the society of which it is part. Social work is based on the belief that man has worth and dignity. No, his dignity begins at birth. Values of social work. Each person has the right to self-fulfillment. Each person has an obligation as a member of the society. Society has the obligation to facilitate self-fulfillment of an individual. Each person requires for harmonious development of his power socially provided and socially safeguard the opportunities. Society becomes more complex and interdependent. To permit self-realization and contribution to society by individual, social organization must make available social devices for its members. And ano yung values ng social work naman according to the curriculum study? These values cited constitute a minimum commitment for social worker. So ito na yon, the concept of human potential and capacity. We believe that we all have capacities. The concept of social responsibility. We have obligation. And of course, the community of us must have its responsibilities for us. No person shall be deprived. No, it shall be have duty. Duty talaga yan ng republic natin. The concept of equal opportunities, of course, fairness, social justice. The concept of social provision, people everywhere at all times with unmet needs. No, to be helped talaga. According to ultimate values of social work, no, sabi na ng National Association of Social Workers Commission on Social Work Practice said that there has been agreement to the ultimate value of social work. It is good and desirable for a man to fulfill his potential, to realize himself, and to balance this with equal effort to help others the same. Like all other helping professions, the belief in the worth and dignity of human being is the fundamental basis of social work's ultimate value. Okay? Its goal and its functions. What is man? Ano yung paniniwala ng tao sa man? Sabi nga dito, what ideally is a man? No? Is he inherently good or evil? How do we account for the difference? This question, according to Leonard Skinner, are important for social work. He describes different views about man. First of that is the natural versus transcendental view. Man as being natural, meaning man is a part of nature. And also, transcendental, that we are created by God. The second is a man as social and antisocial. Man as social, no? Man as social men aspire to live in good terms. Man as a social begins the discrete individuals who come together and form groups for mutual protection. Man as antisocial, men are viewed as inherently seeking egotistical out of extent. No? The democracy's view of man. Man is viewed as capable for reason and rational analysis and choice. We have a choice. Third view that forms the main basis. No, and of course, no, man as biological or cultural human being, creating conditions under which man's rationality can be maximized and his irrationality minimized. The ultimate value of social work, it is good and desirable for a man to fulfill his potentials, to realize himself, and to balance this with equal effort to help others to do the same. The need to have some views about man is indeed essential for social workers. Social workers should have an awareness and understanding of the different value system which exist in the society, religious group, values, and other things. So ito yung mga the following are some of the dominant values, no, na dapat i-consider ng social, especially in the Philippines. Social acceptance, no, defined as taking by one's fellows for that one is or believes is, and being threatened in accordance with his status. So ito yung mga Pinoy, no, yung Pinoy talaga merong smooth interpersonal relationship, mahilig makisama, giving in, nagko-concede. Second is euphemism, no, which is stating unpleasant truth. No, kumbaga, ni-euphemize, no, ayaw masaktan yung ibang tao, nag-euphemize na lang. The use of go-between or tulay system, third party, kung may mga awayan, ganyan. And of course, no, other Filipino values is amor proprio, okay? The term used to refer to sensitivity to personal affront and function to protect the individual against loss of social anxiety. Para siyang hiya. So, emotional closeness and security in the family. Kumbaga, super close sa family talaga. These values believed to be facilitated to the following. Sacrifice yung individual interest para sa pamilya. Ganun yung mga Pilipino. Authority value. Kumbaga, naniniwala, the belief is that families will remain close if someone exerts firm authority. Example, no? Close related authority values respect traditions, no? Example, panalangin, bahala na, fatalism. Ganon. Personalism, this value attaches, no, tiwala, trust sa mga kakilala. This value attaches major importance to personal factor which guarantees intimacy, warmth, and security to kinship. So, mga kakilala lang, ganon, no? Kumbaga, pagari system, utang na loob, mga ganon, no? Returning a favor with interest. Feels obliged tayo dyan, no? Kailangan natin bayaran yan kasi may utang na loob. Ganun yung mga Pinoy. Dapat ma-aware tayo dito sa mga ganitong values. Patience and suffering, kumbaga, nagsasuffer talaga, no? Patiently. No, this is cultural belief that a person must suffer before he can gain happiness. Ganun yung mga paniwala ng Pinoy. So, kunting tiis na lang, malapit na tayong sumaya, lumigaya. Ganun. Even though they can do something with their situation. Ganun yung mga paniniwala ng mga Pilipino. So regarding this, no, in social work, we must be aware to this. So Filipino values. We can use this positively, but at some point we should not be controlled by this kasi magiging negative ito, especially as a professional. No, we should be aware of that. Sorry. And meron pa, no, so ito pa rin mga proverbs in social work practice, no. Ito, no, yung Filipino proverbs, yung mga kasabihan, no? Example of that, no, is to stress out the point that one must work hard, no? Kumbaga, kailangan kang maghirap, no? Kumbaga, there is no victory without struggle. Ito yung mga paniniwala. Sometimes, baka ito mga paniniwala ng social work, nakaka-change siya ng mindset sa client. Tignan natin, tayo mga social worker, kung ito bang mga personality to, mga proverbs na to, nasa client ba to? Kasi there are times, yes, we can use it positively, but there are times na ito yung mga blocks sa attitude at paniniwala ng mga kliyente na hindi sila mag-cooperate in the help natin. Ito, ang dami. Respect for others, perseverance regarding patience, industry. Maraming paniniwala yung mga Pilipino. No? Especially, we are colonized by a lot of countries. Nahalo na. Ito yung mga social work principles, no? Acceptance of people as they are, no? You are respecting your client, no? Ina-accept mo sila kahit sino pa man sila. No, non-judgmental attitude, warm interest. Meron kang warm interest, you respect your client. No, the objective acceptance is not the good but the real. Hindi, kasi sometimes kasi, mabait tayo sa client, kung mabait yung client, what if yung client mo is problematic? No, you accept them kung sino talaga sila. Hindi yung kung mabait lang sila, okay? Acceptance also means that we recognize the people have strengths and weaknesses, no? Limitations, capacities. No? There is so much good in the worst of us and so much bad in the rest of us that it will behoves any of us to find fault with the rest of us, okay? They are the result of the fast or recent situation. Next, participation of problem solving. Wag yung ikaw lang na worker, no, yung gumagawa ng lahat. You need to involve your client. They have the right to be participative, no, to participate. The principle of self-determination, kasali din yan dyan, okay? The self-determination as the right of the client. Kumbaga, yung worker, hindi siya yung nagde-decide lagi. Of course, we have professional judgment, professional authority, but still, no, the worker has the self-determination. We believe that as our value, ultimate value in social work. Okay? Na the right to determine what his needs are and how they should be met. No, self-help yung paniniwala natin sa kanila. Hindi yung tayo yung namimili lagi. A client develop or gains his self-respect and self-confidence when he realizes that he is able to solve his own problems. He is factual and objectives. Enabling. Isa din to sa role ng social work. We enable our client na maka-realize na siya na mismo, alam na yung problema niya, alam niya mismo kung paano makipag-cooperate at paano masolve yung problem niya. Hindi yung tayo yung tayo yung gumagawa lagi ng desisyon. Our client has self-determination. The fourth one is the individualization of the client. Lahat ng client po iba-iba. Okay? So sabi nga na ni Clark John Moore Skinner, no, every man is in certain respect like all other men, no? Like all other men, like some other men, and like no other men. He is like all other men to the extent that he has the same anatomy, no? Meron siyang katawan. He has biological needs or religious or ethnic occupation. He is different because no one else has gone through exactly the same experience. Ganun po yun. Hindi po porket ito yung case study mo sa isang client, okay, i-copy-paste ko na to, siguro makasosolve ito. No. Our client is individual. Individuality. This principle tells us to appreciate the fact that no two person, not even identical twins, are alike. Individual is a situation which involves interaction between a lot of factors. And no two communities, of course, kasali din to, no? Kasali din dito yung mga groups, no? No two groups, especially in group work, are the same. Groups are different. in the community organization then. No two communities are ever the same. I know we have the same problems, but your plan will never work in our place. Ganon yon. Confidentiality, privacy. Okay, so, yung mga client natin, they deserve privacy. Of course. No, confidential po yan. No? Provide the client's protection then. Trust is an important element of the client's-worker relationship. I know you already know that. Okay? But there are times, no, na yung pagiging privacy din, of course, you really need to divulge information sa mas nakakatulong, especially in referral purposes. Pwede yun. No, but hindi yun chinismis natin yung client's problem. No, it's illegal. A prerequisite of confidentiality is privacy, but privacy is an element that is not easy to observe. May mga ganun talaga nangyayari. Next, worker self-awareness. Dapat alam ng worker yung mga biases niya, conscious siya sa mga prejudices niya, negative especially. Maybe if your client is also of different religion sa'yo, values, baka maging bias ka. Yun, so yung need dyan, no one is completely free of bias talaga. The important thing is to be aware of this and be able to control them so that they do not interfere with their professional practice. Ito yung sabi ko, especially if your client is of your different gender, especially different practice or religion, baka may bias ka dyan. You need self-analysis, no? Psychoanalysis para malaman mo yung mga bias mo. Self-discipline is crucial to the principle of worker self-awareness. Okay? Finally, the need for worker to be conscious on how she responds or react to manipulation by others. Next is client-worker relationship. So, itong relationship ito, it's a professional relationship. No? So, purpose nito. So, mga pagtutulungan lang professionally. Okay, hindi. Being controlled and purposive. Dapat may purpose. Kontrolado ka. May mga iba niya nagiging unethical, nahulog yung loob sa client. No, nagkakameron ng transparency and counter-transparency, counselor and counselee, goals and objective, by mutual agreement. Professional yung purpose. May mga ganun na mga nangyayari. Expectation have to be clarified. Okay? Control emotional involvement. No worker's humanity prevents her from remaining emotionally uninvolved. Hindi dapat maging emotional yung worker. Ambivalence, no? Introduced into psychiatry by noted psychologist, psychiatrist rather Burer, based on the proposition that man-mind function in a dualistic way. May mga tendencies po kasi yung tao. No, kumbaga, yung kliyente mo ngayon, loving siya, later naman naging hating siya. Ikaw din na worker ka. No, you have to be, kung ambivalence ka ba, you have to be self-evaluating. Transference, ito na yung concept, no, yung, kumbaga, client unconsciously transfer to the worker the attributes and the character of some importance. So, kumbaga, ay, para kang, you talk just like my mother. Ikaw din, no? A skilled worker will not encourage prolonged transparency even if it is positive. Ganon, wag po yun. No, kahit pa sabihin mo, ang bait mo talaga para ka anak ko, we should not encourage that. Baka kasi mayroon tayo ng utang na loob, no, iba na yung relationship natin, no, utang na loob na hindi na professional. And of course then, no, many people have similarities. Ito din yung counter-transference, which is the worker's unconscious. Kumbaga yung worker yung nagtra-transfer unconsciously ng traits transfer, no, sa kliyente. Ang tigas talaga ng ulo mo, para kang kliyente ko before. Wag po yan. Okay? In place, no, psychoanalysis talaga yung kailangan ng worker. Knowing yourself talaga, being aware of your prejudices. Okay? American model, the irrelevance of foreign content has been widely questioned, the need to indigenize to. So, ito na yun. So, there are things to this, no, regarding sa mga reference natin na at some point, we need to indigenize our theories, kasi nga the proponents of these theories, no, yung participants dito is mga Americans. So there's a need to justification to this kung ano talaga dapat. Western society, self-determination. It is not the exercise of that choice. My decision was arrived after discussing with the father to consult or not to consult in self-experience in self-determination. So ano yung professional ethics ng social work? So mayroon yung professional ethics ng social work that was being developed, no? Code of ethics. Now, code of ethics, no? Professional ethics is the system of ethical principles and rules to conduct generally accepted by the members of the professional. So, kaya nga, nag-o-oath yung social work based on philosophy, values, and guiding principles of the profession. So, mayroon pang code of ethics and social work, no? First of that, no? That is that this, no? We believe in the inherent worth and dignity of the persons. Every human being has natural and social rights, no? In the human beings, we believe the capacity. Free men and women, no? Family is the basic unit in social justice. We are upholding that. And of course, so on, so on. Meron dito, no, yung relative to the self and the profession, no? I do hereby declare that we will abide this, no? And this is the conduct we must regarding to our profession. And of course, this is the conduct we need to have regarding our... Ito yung mga dilemmas pala din ng social work na kinakaharap. Manipulation. There are times na worker ka. Sometimes na mamanipulate mo yung client mo. And ikaw din na mamanipulate mo mamanipulate ka din ng client mo. May mga ganun na mga nangyayari. And yan yung mga dilema ng social worker. Advocacy, siguro ikaw, no, meron kang ina-advocate na maging bias sa'yo at sa client mo. At saka yung client mo din, baka din ma-advocate siya na hindi tugma sa working relationship mo professionally. Third is conflicting loyalties, no? Saan ka ba talaga? So baka may mga ganun, especially in our bureaucratic society. No? When is what is called whistleblowing against coworker, no? Ganun. Example, may mga ganun, conflicting loyalties. Nakita mo yung worker, kasamahan mo na gumagawa ng milagro. Saan ka papanig? No, na meron kayong na bawal. Cultural and other realities, no? Personal connections, yung mga cultures we should be aware of the political influence, no? Mga ganun. Especially sa atin kasi in social worker, we are now involved politically. May mga ganun po nangyayari. Okay, so sabi nga dito ni Justice Ramon Jose, when he presented the successful examination of the bar exam, sabi dito, the legal profession next to priesthood is the most exalted and dignified. That it is an apostleship of justice. Its influence of man, it is the extension of the lay profession, but in its misuse is the most destructive. Thus, this profession may rise to infinite heights of glory. So, yun yung sinabi niya and so on. Okay, so, in social work din, no? Ross expounds the idea eloquently. Obligation and freedom are two polar opposites. Freedom is an absence of constraint. Obligation is constraining. What is obligatory is somehow binding, but it's not binding as force is binding, nor is it's binding even as law is. When law is backed up by force and its obligation brings punishment, obligation can indeed be violated, and its violation may bring no punishment at all, not even sleepless night. So, although obligation may be opposed to freedom, as all bonds are, it is not so starkly opposed as law or force. You ought not is not as strong a statement as you may not, and you ought is different from you shall. Okay? So, that's our class. Okay? So, thank you.